What's up, y'all? We are live courtside at FedEx Forum. He's Jon Roser. I'm Lang Whitaker. We're here. We got our lunchbox. We're ready to go to work. We got our lunchbox. If you're one of the first 3,000 fans tonight, you get one of these. It's a lunchbox with John Morant on one side, Jaren Jackson Jr. on the other side, the Call 12, the Black Panther. Come on down, get your lunchbox, and go to work like we're about to go to work. He's Jon Roser. I'm Lang Whitaker. It's the warm-up show on Grind City Media. We're coming in hot as the Grizzlies get ready to take on the Philadelphia 76ers. Grizzlies come in at 15-17. Flip that around. The 76ers are 16-14. Grizzlies coming off that loss at Washington a couple nights ago, 116-112. Ja at 31, Jaren 21-7. The bench was outscored. The bench has been one of the best parts of this Grizzlies team. Got outscored 28-14. Sixers have lost 3 in a row. Most recently lost to OKC by 30. Tyrese Maxey is averaging 30-7 for the Sixers. He's been awesome.
Yeah, Tyrese Maxey's been unbelievable this season, and you're starting to see him. You know, you saw the All-Star returns come out. Yeah. Tyrese Maxey was, what, top 3 in the East in voting. I know we'll get to the Ringers top 25 list later, but Maxey was in the top 15, top 20 on that. So he's been a really good player for a while since he came in the league, and it feels like, you know, I know he's battled some health issues last year, but he's finally probably getting the proper amount of respect.
He's made a leap. He's there. And it's almost like you don't even say this is Joel Embiid's Sixers team anymore.
You say Tyrese Maxey.
We don't even know if Embiid's going tonight or not. He's been listed as questionable. In some ways, it might be better if he does play because the Sixers have struggled with him in the lineup and trying to fit him into this thing. So, but we're here to see the Grizzlies play and see the Grizzlies try to get back to 500. It's been a haul, a struggle to get to 500. They've been right on the verge of it twice. Both times lost to the Wizards.
Wizardry.
The evil wizardry.
Yes.
Both times. With Edey out, as he has been for the last month or so, the Grizzlies just haven't been able to get to that 500. Where do you think the Grizzlies can look for some sort of consistency, improvement, some way to get there? Because they don't seem to be able to get quite over that hump.
Yeah, they're right there, and then it's you got to get there, and then you got to get over it. But they're right there, and they've been right there a couple of times, and they've just fallen short against the Wizards. I mean, look, I think both of those losses have been a little bit different. The home game, the second half, Jared got the 5th foul, and just all the momentum flipped right after that. And then, then the other day, it's your second game with John Morant back in the lineup. You also don't have Jock Landale, someone you've been used to having, who's helped space the floor and really helped that bench lineup. You lose Kentavious Caldwell-Pope early in the game, who's been you mentioned the bench getting outscored, so you didn't have Jock, and you lost KCP really early. The Grizzlies 11-4 when KCP scored in double figures. They obviously won't have him tonight, but I do think him going out, I think that also really hurt him too in that game.
KCP, he's listed as out for tonight, but he just came out here and did a full warm-up, so I'm not sure.
That's good news.
Yeah, it's good news. I assume he's still out. Maybe he can go. I don't know, but he's listed as out for tonight. You mentioned Ja coming back as part of that answer.
Yeah.
Ja's been back now for 2 full games, and he gives the Grizzlies something they didn't really have before, which is a real point guard. They've had guys play the position of point guard, Cam Spencer, Vince Williams, but without Ja in the lineup, it's guys who are playing point guard. Ja is kind of like a born point guard. I asked Coach Isolo about this before the game tonight and about what having a point guard like Ja Morant in the lineup brings to this team. Here's what he had to say.
Especially for us the Washington game was not a good half-court offensive game for us, but I think we had our second or third most transition points in the whole season, and I think we saw the same thing against Milwaukee. We've been doing a very good job. He's great at pushing. He sees, if you notice him, he does what great point guards do. Before he's getting the inbounds, he's looking up already and feeds those guys over the top, and then in the half court, there were sequences where he was, I think against Milwaukee, he was directing Jaren against a mismatch into the post, and it's a lot of that stuff that is incredibly important because during the season you have very little practice time, so you can't teach or go through everything with the guys, and when you're learning a new position, stuff like that easily gets lost, or it's a longer, let's say, learning curve to do that, and it's not just great in the moment to have that, but also for the other guys who are kind of learning the ropes and looking at how that position is played, to see that also from the side that, oh, okay, you can do it like this too, and what type of let's say, how many things you have to process at the same time. So I feel like it's been great for our group.
Thank you, Coach.
So what have you seen since Ja's return? It's only been 2 games, but have you noticed a difference in the way the team runs with Ja in there?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So he was, I mean, obviously, of course he's right. He's the coach. He studies the film and sees all of it. We saw Ja directing traffic, especially that Friday night game against Milwaukee, as we talked about, directing Jaren, hey, we're going to go to this mismatch over and over again. If that's who they're going to guard you with, and that's how they're going to guard you, we're going to exploit this over and over and over again until they do something about it. Also, the Grizzlies had been playing not a crazy fast pace. In the 2 games since Ja's been back, this is obviously a very small sample size. The 2 games they've been back over this small little stretch, they've played the 4th fastest pace in the NBA. So he definitely does allow them, and Coach Isolo talked there about the fast break points picking up. That's the biggest difference right there. You're seeing someone, you've got a floor general who can push the pace and find guys in the open court. We also saw the lob to Santi Friday night in that Bucks game.
He also had 2 plays in that Wizards game where he moved the defense with his eyes and kind of led somebody to be open.
That's real quarterback. That's like NFL quarterback stuff.
It was like Josh Allen. Like he moved the guys and hit the pass and played great. January 1st is right around the corner. What are we going to resolve for New Year's for this Grizzlies team? What should their New Year's resolution be?
Well, look, it's got to be to get healthy. That's the resolution. It's like they got to get healthy. I believe that they are one of the 4 to 5 best teams in the Western Conference if they are completely healthy. I believe they are. I just don't know if we're ever going to see that health, but that's what I want to see, because I think if you have Ja, you have Ty Jerome, you have Zach Edey, you've got Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Scottie Pippen Jr., Cam Spencer. Now you legit have one of the deepest teams in the league, and you really can run these hockey substitution patterns at teams and really wear them down.
Yeah, and to your point, like we still haven't even really seen Ty Jerome out there. We haven't seen Scottie Pippen in this offense. We saw Ty Jerome for like 1 preseason game or whatever, but we haven't seen what the real full Grizzlies thing is supposed to look like, and you know, I hope we get to see it sooner than later.
I do too.
Speaking of injuries, we can look over tonight's injury report. Jock Landale is questionable, but I believe he's playing tonight. Coach Isolo said he looked like he was going to be good to go. I was trending toward being in tonight. KCP out, Brandon Clark, Zach Edey, Ty Jerome, John Conchar, Joanne Mashak's on a 2-way transfer.
I got to say real quick, Jock Landale playing tonight. Quickest recovery from a calf strain this season in the NBA for any player. For any player of all the calf strains that have gone around this league, this has to be the quickest recovery
I wonder if it was just that, like, he felt something, and because of the calf strain epidemic in the NBA, they were like, you're out.
And he's been playing more minutes this year than he is expected to play or in his career. So
he's been carrying a heavy load. He's done great. Sixers, Joel Embiid's questionable. Don't know about him yet. Kelly Oubre is out, and Trendon Watford are out. 2 guys who play a lot for that Sixers team. So we'll see if the Grizzlies are able to take advantage of that. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. Jessica Benson's going to join us and give us the main character. Pete Pranica is going to join us, the voice of the Grizzlies.
Shout out, Pete.
And then we'll come back. John and I'll go through the NBA and around the NBA. You're watching the warm-up show here on Grind City Media.
Nate Bargatze.
Look, I say a lot of dumb stuff. I try to keep it in front of large groups. Seems to go better that way.
Big Dumb Eyes World Tour.
When you say something dumb one-on-one, it's a lot for that person. I'll say it, then I can just feel that they feel the weight of my life on their shoulders.
Tickets and info at NateBargatze.com. Don't miss the Big Dumb Eyes World Tour. Nate Bargatze.
The world needs B2K.
B2K's breakup was a huge shock to their fans.
Boys for Life Tour.
Memphis. Monday Night Raw returns with non-stop action, unmatched energy, and the superstars you love. We don't get mad, we get even. We don't go home till we beat them. Witness the moments you'll never forget. Monday Night Raw, Memphis. Monday, February 16th. Tickets and ringside packages on sale next Friday.
Watching the Grizzlies is easy with FanDuel Sports Network. If you have cable or satellite, you're all set. Find us on your channel lineup. You can also use your TV provider login to watch games on the FanDuel Sports Network app. No cable or satellite? Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network online. You can also watch on Prime Video by adding a FanDuel Sports Network subscription. Not sure where to start? Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com to learn more.
Welcome back to the warm-up show here on Grind City Media. Lang Whitaker and Jessica Benson courtside at FedEx Forum, getting you ready for the Memphis Grizzlies and the Philadelphia 76ers as the Grizzlies continue their eternal climb toward 500. Let's see if we can get there. Maybe before middle of January sometime. We're trying to get there. Jessica always joins us.
How about end of January?
I'll take it whenever. Let's
they don't have to play the Wizards again,
before
so
they go to
there's
Europe,
no opportunity for that to derail it.
Jessica joins us now, as she always does, to talk about tonight's main character. Who have you selected as tonight's main character?
I've decided to select a theme, Lang.
All right.
Rebounding.
I like that.
Let's see how this team responds from a rebounding perspective. And Tomas Islo said pregame, Jock Landale trending in, which is good because anybody who can get a board could be helpful for this team.
Yes.
They've really struggled. When you look back at how they lost that game to Washington, second chance opportunities for the Wizards was really the thing that doomed them. Yes, the turnovers late in the fourth quarter didn't help, but this team has really struggled to end possessions on the defensive end and to continue possessions on the offensive end. And so the opportunity to go up against the Sixers team, we'll see what Joel Embiid's status ends up being, but Andre Drummond is one of the best, most consistent rebounders in the game. And Coach Islo spoke pregame. The Sixers team's unique ability to rebound 1 through 5, and they have some fours who are really capable at getting boards. So it's something that is going to be critical for the Grizzlies if they want to have an opportunity to close out this year with a win.
Also, like, I think part of the rebounding we saw in that Wizards game was it's not always your center trying to get the rebounds. A lot of times the center's boxing people out, and you need those wings to crash and come in and grab those boards, secure them. We didn't see a lot of that in that Wizards game, and hopefully you get more of that tonight.
More from Jalen Wells, more from Cedric Coward. Yeah. Even if you get some continued play from G.G. Jackson, every rebound counts. I mean, G.G.
had 9 the other night.
And I was going to say, Jaren Jackson Jr. has actually been on a more upward trend in his rebounding. And just I thought what Coach Islo said before the game about him just finding more consistency and comfort and how the plays are coming easier on the defensive end when it comes to the steals and the blocks. But I really felt that way with Jaren in his positioning for rebounding. But it can't just be one person. This has to be a true collective effort. And that was one of those principles they focused on early in the season. So I know Zach Edey being out of it continues to be a challenge because he is your best rebounder, but they got to find those boards somewhere.
You have Jon Roser and Jason March chopping it up in the background. If you want a local broadcast tonight, this is your only way to get there. ESPN 92.9.
The radio.
Because the game's on NBC otherwise. So
the dial on.
She'll be on ESPN 92.9 with Eric Hasseltine, Elliot Berry, and Bennett Doyle. And then on the double post afterwards with Jon Roser and Bennett Doyle. We're going to take a quick break. Pete Pranica is going to join us because he's got the night off. I'm going to put him to work. You're watching the warm-up show here on Grind City Media.
Best gift you received as a kid?
Basketball. Best present I ever received was a PSP.
A dirt bike.
A little monster truck car to drive, the little small ones when I was younger. That's my favorite.
It's probably one of the racing car, like high-powered racing cars or remote control cars, whatever you call them. I used to race them with my dad and my brother all the time. It was a lot of fun.
It's like a little toy car that you can hop in and drive.
I was gonna say same thing.
Fun.
Probably any video games, like a PlayStation 5 or something.
Guitar Hero 3. It was a PlayStation 4. My parents got it for me, but didn't put it under the tree. So we spent an hour and a half, 2 hours opening all our presents, and I didn't think I got it. And then I went to the back of my room and I found the box. And it had the PlayStation. I ran in the living room, hugged my mom, my dad, almost started crying. That was the best present I got.
Welcome back to the warm-up show here on Grind City Media. Lang Whitaker, courtside at FedEx Forum, alongside the voice of the Grizzlies, Pete Pranica. Pete thought he had the night off tonight. No, sir. We're going to put Pete to work no matter what. Getting you ready for the Grizzlies and the 76ers. Pete, I was thinking about it as you were sitting down here. Like, it's almost like we've seen two different Grizzly teams this year. The first month and a half, kind of going through the motions, trying to figure out how to win. And then the last couple weeks, seems like a little bit of a improvement from this team, a better team, a different team. What have you seen that differentiates the last couple weeks with what we saw at the start of the year?
Well, I think it's been a greater sense of consistency. And the other thing, too, Lang, when you look at the last 13, 14 games, the Grizzlies are out shooting their opponents on a regular basis, which they weren't in the first 17 games of the season. And the fourth quarter execution has been much better. The last, I think, 12 games, if the Grizzlies win the fourth quarter, they win the game. If they lose the fourth quarter, they lose the game. So I think they've become a little bit more integrated into Tuomas's system. And they, particularly defensively, they've been more on a string than they were in the first 17 or so games.
One of the words Jessica just used when we were sitting here was comfort in seeing the players. And Coach Isolo said that the other day, something about he felt like a big part of this improvement was the guys feeling more comfortable in their roles. Which players in particular do you think kind of see them turning the corner? Asante, for me, has been a guy, but who else have you seen?
Well, you can't ignore Cam Spencer.
True.
I mean, because here's a guy who came in as a two-way 52nd overall pick in the draft, and you're thinking, okay, how athletic is this guy? He's plenty athletic, and obviously shooting the ball extremely well. And you remember the first time he started at a point guard against Toronto, it did not go well. But since then, he's really adapted to the position. He's been a good lead guard when necessary for the Grizzlies. So I think he's taken a step forward. I really like Jalen Wells with what he's been able to do to put the ball on the floor and vary his finishes. He's not simply a catch-and-shoot three-point guy. He's been able to put it on the floor and finish around the rim, which to me has been very impressive.
Another guy who can finish around the rim, and we can see him out there right now warming up. I knew he was out there warming up because I could see people lining up along the baseline behind us.
It wasn't for you?
Or you, I thought maybe. John Morant's out there now. He's come back now. He's played 2 games since he's been back. I mentioned it in the pregame with Coach Isolo. Like, Ja gives you a real point guard as opposed to guys playing the position. What do you think we'll see from Ja as he gets more used to this offense, as he fits into it? How does he change what the Grizzlies are able to do on the court?
He allows the Grizzlies to be better in transition. His court vision is amazing. He's one of those guys, he's a lot like LeBron James, that his recall of players and situations and play calls is absolutely encyclopedic.
There you go.
There's a good word for you. And so you can play probably a more free-flowing game because Cam Spencer is good. He still is probably thinking the position a little bit. Ja doesn't have to think the position, he can play it.
No, and that's one thing Coach Isolo said was like he's able to just kind of slide right in there and pick it up. Another guy who has returned and talking about getting more comfortable, getting more consistent, Jaren Jackson Jr. has been really good these last few weeks. After a slow start to the season for Jaren by his standards, I think. How do we keep building on that? Like, it seems like Coach Isolo even said, like, when Jaren's in there, it's having the right guys around him, figuring out how to do it. But then when Jaren comes out, it changes sort of the way the offense runs. What do you think we'll see from Jaren as he continues kind of getting used to this offense and improving?
I think you're going to continue to see him be very productive on the offensive end. You know, the good thing that Jaren is doing now is so many of his finishes are in the paint. He's had some of his best paint scoring games during this run of success for the Grizzlies. He's not settling for threes. The other thing that he's doing is he's not taking the silly frustration fouls. Because early in the season, he would miss a shot, something would go wrong, he'd take a foul, then take another foul, and all of a sudden, he can't be on the floor because he's got too many fouls. So I think he's becoming more comfortable with this. Sometimes he's called upon to be a screener, which typically he hasn't been called upon to do. I just think we're seeing vintage Jaren Jackson Jr. Shot blocking, stealing, three-point shot making, paint scoring. You get all 4 of those from Jaren, you're in good shape.
This Grizzlies team, we talked about, they've had injury issues all season long. John and I were talking about, we haven't even really seen Scottie Pippen in this offense. We haven't seen Ty Jerome other than like that brief preseason moment we got to see him. So we haven't seen what this team can do. You and I were talking before the game about consistency. Like, how do we find consistency with this thing?
Well, I asked Tuomas Isolo that very question. Thank you for bringing that up. It's all about your consistency of habits. And so all you can do is ask the players individually to do their job on a consistent basis. That's the only thing that you can control. So if they can take it possession by possession, and in the immortal words of Bill Belichick, do your job, then you'll be okay. And I think this is my theory, Lang.
All right.
Tuomas Isola was coaching in Europe, and you don't have the real superstars. You have a lot of, I think, same talent level guys. So you're forced to mix and match and to be very adaptable. And I think with all the injuries and the ins and the outs, and he's in, he's out, I think he's been very comfortable mixing and matching, and the results have been good.
Yeah, and now he's getting the other guys back.
Now you're getting the big stars back.
Yeah, which is like having an ace in the pocket, being able to like say, all right, we got these guys.
Yep.
So I'm excited to see this team as they continue to add these guys and get back and get going. I'm excited to see you back on the broadcast.
Me too.
Which will start in the next game in LA, right, this weekend.
Yep.
Coming up. I don't even know if it's the weekend or the week. I don't even know what day today is. The last 2 weeks have been.
So it's Friday and Monday, I believe, the second and the fourth.
Right, against the Lakers. All right. Well, tonight you got to watch the game on Peacock or NBC, I guess, or ESPN 92.9. The Catch Pete on FanDuel Sports Network every other night of the week. We're going to take one more break. You're watching the warm-up show here on Grind City Media.
Now that's the new edition way.
I feel like there's another level we can take it to.
What you think, Mike?
2 steps ahead of you, Slick.
What's good, bro?
What you doing, man?
I'm in.
Woman, you don't even know what I'm getting ready to ask you.
Here's the vision. All 3 of us on the same stage every night.
Gonna be crazy.
No barriers, no separation.
It'll be like 9 kings and a queen.
The next level starts now.
Jeff Dunham, Artificial Intelligence, his all-new tour.
You're the other white meat.
How can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other? Well, you're half of it.
I realize I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. I do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Memphis. Friday, April 10th, FedEx Forum. Tickets on sale Monday, September 29th at jeffdunham.com.
Are you ready to transform your pool into a stunning oasis? At Mainland Pool Service, they're a family-owned business committed to keeping your pool looking pristine all year round. They believe that pool care should be proactive, not reactive, which is why their skilled team handles everything from routine cleaning to complex issues with precision. They prioritize clear communication and personalized solutions to exceed your expectations. Join the Mainland Pool Service family today and experience the difference their expertise and dedication can bring to your relaxation retreat. Contact them now at mainlandpoolservice.com.
The long goodbye begins. A very special evening with Journey. Final Frontier Tour. Journey. Tickets are on sale now at journeymusic.com. Your chance to say goodbye to the songs that changed our lives. Journey. Final Frontier Tour.
What's up? Welcome back to the warm-up show here at FedEx Forum. Lang Whitaker, Jon Roser, we're courtside. John Morant's out there behind us getting some shots up, trying to get ready for tonight's game. The Memphis Grizzlies hosting the Philadelphia 76ers. Been a lot of coming in hot tonight on this. Jessica was so late, I thought we were going to have to show another B2K commercial.
It's a great commercial.
It is a good commercial.
Is that the one? No. Is that the one where it's like, oh yeah, they broke up and it shocked the world when B2K?
Yeah, it did.
Do you remember where you were when B2K broke?
I don't.
Devin Walker probably does.
Devin definitely does.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to some stories going on around the NBA, and like we always do at this time, we'll talk about some bigger picture items. Number one, let's get back to school. All these G League guys are now going back to college.
Yeah.
You are the voice of the Memphis Hustle.
I am. Played a game last night.
Color commentator voice of the Memphis Hustle. Jalen's trying to play us off. I'm not going to let him play us out of here with the music. The G League guys are all making their runs to college now. There's certain rules about this. I was looking it up. You can't have played in the NBA. You can't have declared for the draft. If you got drafted without declaring for the draft, you're eligible to go back to college. So, and I think it's something about you can't have been a first-round pick. It's all guys who weren't first-round picks.
But this guy, was this...
James Najee was the 31st pick.
31st pick,
in the draft.
Yeah, that's right.
He just went back to college. There's a guy who went back to UC Santa Barbara. There's a couple guys. What do we make of this? Like, in a way, I think it might be good for college.
Yeah. So I think it is good for the brand of, like, I think it is good for the basketball.
Yeah.
Like, as far as on-the-court basketball, I think it's good for that because these guys are just better players.
Yeah.
Like, they're older, they're more mature, they're better players. I thought last year's Final Four, like, Auburn had an older team. Florida had older players. Houston, obviously, who I can't remember who else made the Final Four off the top of my head. There's one
Florida,
other team.
Houston, Auburn, somebody.
Yeah, somebody else. So I think it's, and they all had older teams. Obviously, the older you are, probably the better you get at the sport. So I think it's like the basketball itself is better. I mean, look, dude, we gonna pretend that college basketball has always been amateurism? Like, dude, these guys have been getting paid forever. Like, high school kids have been getting paid.
It's the same as NBA. I mean, same as college football and pro football.
Right.
Like,
I mean, this stuff's been going on forever. Like, I do think it stinks for, like, high school kids. I mean, from the standpoint of, like, the kids who are ranked, like, I don't know, that aren't the five-star kids, because those kids are probably going to not be able to go to, like, the Kansases, the Dukes. They're going to have to start at a lower-level school and then work their way up. Or maybe somebody will, like, grow a set and actually, like, govern the sport, and, like, there will be a commissioner that makes rules, and they all abide by them.
When G League came around and, like, the elite team came up and everybody's like, oh, they're poaching college kids.
Yeah.
Well, now the colleges can poach them back.
That the colleges, the colleges can poach back. I mean, I was like, look, why wouldn't you take a guy who, like, say, has eligibility left, was not drafted in the first round, was on a two-way contract, though, was on a two. There are a couple of these guys in the G League, they'll bounce around on two-way contracts for about 2 to 3 years. And after that, they're off two-way contracts because they just don't make it at the NBA level enough to get a standard contract, so they're off the two-way. I'm like, so if they're off the two-way and they have college eligibility left and they weren't a first-round pick, why would a college just not go get them?
Yeah, I don't know.
And I think you're going to see
you'll
that
see more of that too.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. The Atlanta Hawks are supposedly ready to move on from Trae Young, allegedly, supposedly.
Allegedly, supposedly.
Yeah, we were talking about this morning on the Gary Parrish show. Where does he go? Sacramento seems to be the answer for everybody.
That's what I was going to say is Sacramento, because they will just be like, you know what, we'll take a chance on anybody. And I also find Sacramento, as we come up like a month away from the trade deadline, Sacramento's like the most interesting team to me because they have players where they're together, they don't actually really work. Yeah. But they've got real guys that if they go into a different situation, they can absolutely help teams, whether it's Malik Monk, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, whatever it is. I don't know. I mean, there's going to be somebody who will be like, yeah, sure, I'll take Trae Young.
You know who I would? Yeah, I just thought of this as we were talking about this. Milwaukee, because you have defenders behind him. You have someone who could initiate offense. He averages like 10 assists a game.
Oh, he's a great passer. He's a great passer.
So maybe that's an interesting place for him to go. I don't know. They seem willing to like do anything it takes also at this point to keep Giannis happy. And Giannis is on the list of this next one, the number one spot. The Ringer's top 25 list just came out this week.
Don't slip up or get got.
That's right. So the top 10 players are Jokic, SGA, Luka Doncic, Giannis. There's the list right there. Do you have any beef with anybody on this list?
So I would probably, one thing, number 28, who obviously we're not listing here, I took a peep at this list. I would put Scotty Barnes in the top 25. I think Scotty Barnes has been unbelievable this year. He's coming off a monster game against the Golden State Warriors. He had a career-high 25 rebounds, also 23 points, 10 assists in that game. I would put Scotty Barnes. I know there's internet jokes about Scotty Barnes. I think Scotty Barnes is awesome, and I think he's only going to continue to get better.
Do you think LeBron's worse than Jalen Johnson? 7 spots worse.
If we had to play a playoff game tonight, I would rather have LeBron James.
I would too.
Yeah.
My only other beef with this is like...
I mean, has Anthony Davis played enough?
No, and you don't count defense. Like,
and Kawhi hasn't.
Luka's number 3, and he's a one-way player. You know what I mean?
Luka's pretty awesome, man.
Good. Steph Curry's the same.
Look, and I got to be real because I said they've got to do it in the playoffs, so I got to stick with it. I can't have Wemby over Anthony Edwards. I've seen Anthony Edwards made back-to-back Western Conference Finals, and I know the Spurs look awesome, and they appear to be the Thunder Killers. But we got to see it in the playoffs.
All right. Well, we're going to get out of here.
And I think we probably will.
And get you ready for this game. Again, if you want to watch the game, it's on NBC. It's on the big network. It's on the Peacock.
NBC.
If you want to listen to it with your local broadcast team, Eric Hasseltine, Jessica Benson, Bennett Doyle, Elliot Perry are all up there on ESPN 92.9 Radio. And after the game, Jon Roser will have the double post with Jessica and Bennett on
You call into
Grizz
that.
and on Giant City Media, the X, the YouTube, all those places. Go on the YouTube, you can chat too, or call in. So for Jon Roser, for Jessica Benson, for Pete Pranica, I'm Lang Whitaker. Appreciate you joining us. Go Grizz. Right.